welcome to your 2024 reading. This is going to be an annual review of what you can expect this year. I know I'm getting this reading a little late for you guys, so I do apologize for that. So thank you for being patient with me. But also, we will be using January as a check-in point for you guys. Since we are doing this reading in mid-February, we'll be using January as sort of a check-in to see if that's where you really are. So if this January check-in resonates for you, then this reading is for you. And if it's not, I do suggest watching another reading that does resonate for you, whether that's your rising or your moon sign. Okay, so keep that in mind, and we will be going through every single month of 2024. So you can definitely revisit this reading as the year progresses, or if you want to come back and see like, oh yeah, that did happen. What was the advice for that? That's an example. Okay, but before we get into this reading, I do want to mention that I do have a new listing on Etsy. So I am now a certified Reiki practitioner. So if you're ever wanting a Reiki healing from me, this will be a one-on-one session. So we will be doing this remotely via Zoom or WhatsApp or wherever is easy for you. But this is going to be a moment for you to do a check-in with your soul. If that's something that resonates for you, definitely check out that listing in Etsy. I have all the information there. And if for whatever reason you still have a question about it, feel free to message me in any of the social media platforms listed below or on Etsy as well. You can even send me an email. And of course, if you ever want to get a reading with me, all of my information is also on that same Etsy page. And do keep in mind that these readings are general, so please only take what does resonate for you and leave what doesn't. So if everything else is resonating, but for some reason one little thing isn't, that doesn't mean this reading is for you. Just toss that little thing. All right, but I think that's it for the intro. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into this reading. So without further ado, let's see what your energy for January was like. So we have the King of Cups coming out. And it was coming out in reverse. I won't be reading reversals because I normally already just feel what's wanting to come through intuitively, regardless of if it's upright or reversed. So I'll keep that in mind, though, that it was wanting to come out in the reverse. This High Priest also. So for February, you have the High Priest. For March, you have the Magician. April, you have the Six of Wands. May, Eight of Wands. June, Nine of Pentacles. July, Queen of Swords. August, Three of Swords. September, the Lovers. October, Five of Cups. November, Page of Pentacles. And lastly, December, the Six of Swords. Bottom of the deck, so this is going to be the underlying energy for your entire 2024. You have the Sun, which is a beautiful energy to have for the entire year. Okay, so I do see inner child healing. I do see you being kinder to yourself. I see you not taking life so seriously as well. You know, just enjoying it, going with the flow, doing more of the things that you loved as a child as well. And if you have children, I see you spending more time with your children, making them more of a priority, because maybe in the past you prioritized work, for example, and it feels that this year you're putting your family first, your children first. Okay, but with the Sun here, I do feel that you're also being shown what is important to you. So there's a lot of illumination. Okay, so if 2023 was a very dark year for you, it does feel like 2024 is going to be more happy in the sense that you're having more epiphanies and more revelations of what matters to you. Okay, so spending more time in nature, spending more time outdoors versus being cooped up at home. You know, I feel like you're getting out of a dark period of not knowing. We had the Two of Pentacles here, and I was checking it because I was being guided to do so. But I was seeing like a dark cloud. So I do feel like last year you could have had good days, you could have had bad days, you could have endured a lot of mood swings. I know cancers are, known to having mood swings, but I feel like for you it was very 50-50. It was either really good or really bad. High highs and low lows. But I see there's more of a balance this year. So definitely be kinder to yourself. Even if you do fall back a little bit and you feel like you're not feeling that balance anymore, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up too much. Okay. Just be kind to yourself. That's coming through very strongly. But whatever the case is, I feel that you're chasing your happiness this year. And it's for a reason. I think you could have had an epiphany of some sorts, like I said, a revelation, whether you just had like a light bulb moment or something happened. Maybe you hit rock bottom and that helped you move forward. That helped you find your momentum again. Sometimes we have to hit rock bottom in order to find that motivation to move forward. And I feel like that's kind of what happened here. I'm hearing the phrase, it's always darkest before dawn. So I do feel like you hit a very dark point last year or even this year. But this year, you're finding that bright morning, that dawn. And it's giving you hope to continue, regardless if you hit roadblocks, challenges along the way, because heaven knows those will never go away. But I feel like you'll have more of hope and faith to embark on any challenge that life throws at you, not only this year, but just moving forward. Okay, so I do feel like if you've been feeling depressed, you're coming out of that this year. Okay, so it's a really beautiful energy. So starting with January, we have the King of Cups. And like I said, it was wanting to come out in the reverse a little bit. So I do feel that in January, it's almost that you had an epiphany of your emotions. Okay, it's like you knew where certain things were lacking. You knew where your heart was not fully in it. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're working a job that you weren't happy in. Something about January made you realize, I don't have to force myself to do this if I'm not genuinely happy. So I feel that for you in January, emotions were really important for you, not only for things such as a job, but also the people you surround yourself with, the things that you do. You are making more of an effort to do things that you genuinely love and enjoy. You want to be emotionally happy. And maybe last year you weren't putting that as a priority. And again, that's all changing this year. I feel like you have a really good friend. Maybe you have like a fur baby that you're really close with. Okay, you're a very sensitive soul. And you're starting to understand that. You're being more made aware of that. We live in a society that almost shames people that are emotional and sensitive. It's almost like it's seen as a weakness, right? But you had this epiphany in January that that's actually your strong suit, and you're being more authentic because of it. And other people are noticing it too. Because when you're inauthentic, you're going to attract a lot of people who are also inauthentic. And I feel like you started realizing that, and that could have been where the epiphany started. Maybe you started looking around and kind of questioning why you're around certain people, and you realized the reason these fake people are around me is because I myself have been acting inauthentic. Okay, so that could be where you started making changes. Maybe you just started being more genuine, and in turn, that shifted everything in your life, not just the people around you, but also how you look at life. Your perspective changed. So if for the longest time you were working at a job where you didn't care that you weren't happy because you thought that all that mattered was paying your bills, something shifted, and January was a very key point for you where you felt, I don't have to suffer much longer. I need to be happy. That's the point of life, is to be happy. And that was a very big turning point for you. Like healthier habits, I feel like like, let's say you weren't drinking as much water, like water was more of a priority for you, because he's carrying his water bottle, so that came to my head. Yeah, look at that. We have the Tower and the Six of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so for a lot of you, I do feel like it could be centered around your stability, your finances, your career, your job. Something just shifted. You were just like, enough is enough. I feel like some of you may have wanted a raise or asked for a raise, and you felt like you got the bare minimum. You felt like you could have gotten more. And the reason you didn't get the raise or the reason you didn't get that promotion is because you're not meant to be there anymore. And that could have been a really rude awakening for you. And what you didn't see with the Ace of Pentacles is that a new door was opening, right? When the wrong door closes, it means a new one is opening for you. So let's say you've been at this job for like 10 years and you loved it the first 5, and the last 5 you've just been dragging your feet every day. And you're trying to you're trying to get promoted, or you're trying to climb the ladder in that job. And for some reason it's just not happening. It's because it's not in alignment with you. So I do feel like the promotion went to someone else, or like the raise wasn't enough for you to stay there. And that was definitely divine intervention that was meant to happen, because you're not meant to be there anymore. You're meant to ask for, you're meant to be more. You deserve more. Even if for a little bit it's going to look like you lost everything, it's not going to make sense to you right away. And that's what the entire basis of the fear of the unknown is all about, because we don't see our blessings coming to us right away. Just because we had to quit that job or we were fired doesn't mean we're going to get our dream job the next day. The point is to have faith in that middle ground, in that dark period of the unknown, and have patience and faith for what's to come. I feel like that's what the Tower is showing me here, is like, you had this rude awakening, you didn't get it in the moment, but over time, you're starting to see it, and you're starting to trust yourself more, because you are getting into a more emotional standpoint. So yeah, huge shifts, huge awakenings in January. And again, that could have been what was already happening in 2023. It just kind of carried over into January, right? So I do see a new opportunity opening for you. You're just not going to see it in that moment. It's like happening behind the scenes. Maybe you're not paying attention to it. Maybe you're too caught up on what doesn't matter anymore that you're not seeing it. So definitely keep an eye out. So dates that are important for January are January 6th, January 16th, and January 1st. Okay, so I do feel like a gateway opened for you guys in January 1st, like a new door opened, a new chapter opened. And again, it doesn't mean that you were offered the dream job that same day. It just means that behind the scenes, divinely orchestration was occurring. Your angels and guides and God are working on it. You don't need to know all the details. You just have to trust in them. Okay, so that was a lot for January, but a lot was being shown to me there. Okay, so February, we have the High Priest. So I did feel it coming out in the reverse too. So I do feel like you do struggle to trust and have faith. So in February right now, you could be getting tested a little bit of your faith, your spiritual practices. Maybe it's time to reevaluate how you live your life, what your routine is, what your daily practices are. I feel like you're thirsty for knowledge. I feel like this is you. You're wanting more. You're hungry for more. And I do feel like you either have an advisor, a mentor, or you're just starting to read up more, learning more. There's something that you're kind of fixated on learning. So that could be spirituality. That could be a new subject. This could be a new venture, maybe a more creative venture, especially if you were working at a job that you weren't happy in. Maybe you're starting to tap more into your passions that are aligned with you. And there is guidance there. So if you think that you don't know what to do or you're at a loss, there is definitely guidance and mentorship available to you. You just have to look around. But I do see like some of you even going back to school, or like just taking classes to master whatever this is. But with the High Priest wanting to come out in the reverse, like I said, there is a little bit of resistance with trusting in a higher power, trusting in your spirit team, trusting in God, however that resonates for you. But there is a little bit of resistance sometimes that causes you to go back into that fear-based mindset, for example, or just thinking more small when it's okay to think big and dream big. The world is your oyster. The Three of Wands, yeah. And to me, the Three of Wands is about that the world is your oyster. And notice how this person is in Paris, and the imagery, or like the feeling that I get with this card is like it's their first time there. It was their dream destination and they made it. Okay, so I feel like for you in February, you're dreaming, and it's okay to do so. It's okay to set your sails high, even to set your expectations high. It's okay to do that because you have forces working for you, higher forces working for you. Yeah. Three of Wands, success, celebration, foundation. Again, this is what's being worked on behind the scenes. You may not see it in the moment. You have to just trust. Okay, I feel like you're in the Three of Wands right now. So you're currently on the journey. You're waiting for it to happen to you, but you're almost there. So you are in a journey of self, it feels like. The suitcase here. Okay, and notice how she's by herself. So I do feel like it's a solo trip, a solo journey. So you may feel alone or isolated, but you're not. Like I said, there is mentorship available to you. You just have to look around, especially if you find someone who does what you want to do. That's always the best thing anyone can do in any field that you want to enter or pursue. So dates that are important for February are February 5th, February 3rd, and February 4th. So that's in order. So those 3 days could have been really important for you. So moving on over to March, we have the Magician, which is an awesome energy. So I feel that in March, you're going to take what you learned from January and February and apply yourself. You're starting to understand, oh, I am a co-creator of my reality. I co-create with the universe. I can make anything happen so long as it is in alignment with me. And I feel like you're just very aware of that. You're no longer fearing the unknown. You're no longer not trusting. You are trusting. Okay, so again, with the book and the paper and the pen, I do feel like for you, you're going to find a manifestation technique that works for you. There's so many different ways to manifest, and there's so much information out there on how to manifest, but just find what works for you. It could be one simple technique. You don't have to do all the mumbo jumbo, so whatever that one thing is for you, stick to that, because I feel like you find it and you understand, oh yes, this is going to work for me. So don't get too caught up on 100 million things that you need to do. Just find what works for you. Oh, this one went flying over here, so that could be a message in itself. We have the Nine of Wands. I feel like this is what you're trying to get out of, though. The way it shot out, it like flipped and then like shot itself into the ground. And then we have the Ace of Wands again, that pen and paper, or the pen in hand. Like, that's coming through really strongly. So you could be an artist. You could, however, you could be a writer. But I definitely see you using your hands a lot with so just a very creative individual that you are. Okay. Whether that's like fashion sketches, because I do see like a mannequin over here with a scarf. So I feel like you have a really good artistic hand. Okay. However that resonates for you. And notice over here she has it too, except over here she's overwhelmed. So the reason that I was saying that it went flying over there, I feel like this is the habit that you're trying to get rid of. This is what you're trying to kind of manifest out of your life. And I feel that in March, you're going to find a technique that works for you so that you don't hit this burnout, so that you don't fall into this dark cloud anymore. Because I feel like this is you at that old job you hated, for example, or that was just no longer in alignment with you. There's kind of like a temptation to go backwards, maybe because you start to worry about your bills not being paid, or you're not getting that stability that this like corporate job gave you, for example. So I feel like you're understanding that it could be really easy to slip back to the old ways, or you can get into this manifestation energy and attract that abundance into your life and make it stick. So I feel like in March, you're just becoming very aware to energy and how energy works. If we think like this is what we attract. If we think like this is what we attract, right? And it all has to do with this like passionate new endeavor that you want to dive into, this creative endeavor, whatever sparks your soul, whatever fires you up. That's the important thing for you. And I feel like it's hard to do what we love because once we put pressure on doing what we love and putting pressure on stability and income, it kind of takes the fun away. So I feel like in March, you're trying to find that balance, that ebb and flow, right? The infinity symbol here. So keep that in mind if you do feel like you're kind of wanting to go backwards and like taking just any corporate job to pay the bills. Keep that in mind if that does happen to you. Okay, because I do feel like you're going to find a way to push past those limitations and past those fear-based mindsets. Okay, so important dates for March are March 1st, March 9th, and March 1st is coming through here twice, so March 11th. Okay, so April, we have the Six of Wands, which I love because I feel that whatever this manifestation technique is that you master, you gain success from it, you gain recognition from it. Okay, you're just going to have to push through those limiting beliefs when you feel like, oh shit, rent is due, bills are due, and I don't have that money or whatever. Keep pushing through because there is definitely success at the end of that tunnel. I see online success for you, so you could be going viral or just enough for you to find that momentum of success with an online business or just putting your name out there. Okay, people are definitely going to want to get to know you. If going live is something that is of interest to you in whatever creative endeavor that you're pursuing, definitely do it. I feel like you're going to be a hit. People are going to be shocked too, because notice the shocked emoji here. So it's going to shock people, whatever it is that you're going to do. So definitely hone that in. Five of Wands, okay. There's going to be a lot of competition and jealousy also, though, but I don't see that really affecting you too much. It's just kind of going to be there, but I don't see you being affected by it whatsoever. I kind of feel like you get fueled off of that even. You could have fire sign in your chart because we have a lot of fire coming out for you guys. So I do feel like for you, the competition might even be motivation. It might even be fuel for you to want to be the best, to put yourself out there because I feel like this is the noise around you, and then this is you. I just heard noise cancellation. So maybe that's a practice you can do, like literally canceling out the noise around you, the distractions, the naysayers, whatever that is, the chaos that you may find yourself in life. So that could be a good practice to just cancel the noise. Because when you do, you find the success. Okay, so that's April. So we have April 6th and April 5th and April 1st. Okay, moving on over to May. And again, with the wands. So like I said, you're carrying heavy fire energy, but it's great. So in May, you have the Eight of Wands. So I feel like you are going to be very successful in whatever it is that you pursue this year. And I just see a lot of online success. And if it's not online success, I just feel like you're taking advantage the internet for your business or for whatever it is that you're pursuing. I just see you taking advantage of that and running with it. Okay. So I feel like you guys may create a website or create a business online. Okay. And I just feel like in May, you're going to have another really good idea. And I feel like this is you sending that idea to someone, pitching an idea or something of that nature. Or this could even be someone coming towards you with an idea. Wow, we have the Empress. Yeah, again, I just feel like you're going to be very successful this year. Knight of Wands. Yeah, this is definitely you. You guys have strong fire sign energy. Even if you don't have fire in your chart, you're definitely exuding it this year. And again, it's because something shifted in you in January that it just like turned on a switch of motivation. So yeah, I do feel like whatever this idea is in May, it's going to bring a lot of success, a lot of abundance, where you are just kind of going to sit back and relax and chill because you're like a, what is that word? Like a master manifestor. generator manifester. I forgot what that's called, but you get the point. But I do feel like in May, you're much more of like in a relaxed energy because you've already done the chasing. And I don't want to say chasing like in a negative way, it's just more of like a go-getter. Yeah, so you've been more of a go-getter, that in May you're more chill. You're allowing things to come to you because you don't really need to run that fast anymore. You can just like relax a little bit. So I do feel like this could even be an opportunity coming your way, like someone wanting to work with you or pitching you this really awesome idea. Okay, so I feel like in May and even in June, you're enjoying the fruits of your labor. Okay, here's your little furry friend again, enjoying the fruits of your labor too, as they should. So I feel like there will be some celebrations in May as well. And being drawn to the champagne glass in her hand there. And the way she's dressed feels very luxurious, but also um, like like a ball gown. So I feel like you could be going to important events, premieres, things of that nature, like launch parties, like things like that. Okay, so important dates in May could be May 8th, and May 3rd. Okay, so moving on over to June. So again, the success continues. So I feel like you just have an awesome start to the year. And if it doesn't feel that way right now in February, that's okay, because like I said, you're still working through some limitations and you're getting comfortable with yourself. Okay, and once you get comfortable with yourself, you're an unstoppable force. So in June, Nine of Pentacles, again, you're still enjoying the fruits of your labor. Very similar energy, very different cards, but very similar energy. Okay, so yeah, I feel like you might even take a vacation in June if you've been working really hard. I feel like the robe and the towel and the hair is almost like the hotel robes that you get sometimes. And I feel like that's you taking a vacation somewhere. But notice how there's an iPad on her. So I feel like you're the type of person that even though you're on vacation, you're still working. And again, it's not because you're a workaholic, it's because you love what you do. You don't see it as work anymore. You just feel like, whatever, I'm going to work on this because it brings me joy. Okay. With the Empress too, I forgot to mention, if this resonates for you, I do feel like if you do have a business and it's doing really well, that you're gonna begin to hire employees. So you're gonna have like a staff or a team. Like I see you as the boss. Okay, so that's coming through. That I feel like in June you may even be able to take some time off because you have a team that can work for you. And I feel like you have a very healthy mindset. I'm going to put these cards back, but I'm going to take the one that came out first, which was the Eight of Pentacles, but I'll show you what flew out. We have the Three of Cups and the High Priestess. And the King of Swords showing up in the background there. The reason I'm not taking them is because I'll talk forever if I do. So with the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, yeah, I feel like you love what you do. And, oh yeah, healthy mindset is what came through. I feel like you have a healthy mindset with the work and life balance, and that's why you're so happy, because you were able to find that balance that last year you were really struggling with. But again, the reason you were struggling is only because you were in out of alignment from doing what you love, that as soon as you put yourself in that vibration of doing what you love, it just changes everything. So I just see you working hard still, mastering your craft, and again, loving every moment of it. Okay, because with the Three of Cups in the background, again, the celebrations, you have a better close-knit circle around you. This could even be you and your team celebrating together. Because again, if you have the power of hiring a certain team, it's because you like them, right? So I feel like you may just have like 2 employees, and that's like all you need really. But yeah, I feel like you really enjoy these people's energies and having them around you, and you trust them. That's how you're able to take time off. Okay, and with the Eight of Pentacles, I also see you just kind of working by yourself. Like, yeah, you have your team, but you also really enjoy your alone time. You feel like that's when you work best. Very introverted mindset, right? But in a good way. And I see like you're always coming up with new ideas, fresh new ideas. So really great energy. So dates for June could be June 9th, June 8th, and June 3rd. Okay, so moving on over to July, we have the Queen of Swords, which is really interesting, but again, very boss energy, the Queen of Swords. The energy begins to shift a little bit in the second half of the year. So notice how in the beginning of the year you were in that King of Cups energy, so very emotional. Now in the July, you're kind of getting out of your emotions. You're becoming a bit more logical based. But I think it's for a reason. There's a reason you have to be kind of cold and decisive and more logical and clear-headed. Let's see what that's about. We have the Four of Cups, the World, and the Page of Pentacles. I'll take them all. And the Two of Pentacles at the bottom. Yeah, I feel like in July, okay, you're doing so well in the first half of the year that something happens, something shifts in the second half that you kind of lose momentum again, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up when that happens. But I feel like you can't help and kind of shut down a little bit. There's a message here to find your balance again and recenter yourself with that Two of Pentacles over here. Maybe you take on too much at a certain point that you feel like, wait, I kind of lost that healthy work-life balance. Okay, because you have the Four of Cups here, so there's an emotional detachment. Like I was saying, I feel like you get out of your emotions and you become more logical based. And then we have Seven of Pentacles and the World. So there could be a lesson in your finances come July that you kind of have to like rewire yourself or rebrand yourself, I just heard. But it feels more, it has more to do with your finances though with Seven of Pentacles. Maybe you have like a financial setback that you have to do things differently. And again, don't look at that as like the end of the world, but rather a chance to change things, as a chance to, like we're not going to be perfect all the time. When certain challenges arise, it's just an opportunity to do things differently, to learn from it and do it better, do it differently. And that's kind of the energy I get here. With the World card, it feels like it's a lesson. It's a cycle repeating itself, so it could even be a lesson to test if you are balanced after all, right? Because you have all this success, and it feels like you could be tested here in July as to where are you though, like. So it's kind of like a test to see if you're going to shut down again with this Four of Cups and Seven of Pentacles. Kind of get more into that I don't know why I keep hearing penny pincher. Like, I don't know if like that could be, like it has to do with money for some reason here, where you feel like you could be hard on yourself. You could be thinking like, oh, I shouldn't have taken that vacation. I shouldn't have done that. I should have saved that, but that's just a scarcity mindset. Don't feel that way. Go back into this Empress energy and the Magician energy. Okay, but it feels like with the Queen of Swords, you have to make logical decisions in order to move forward with whatever happens here. That kind of makes you detached with this Four of Cups. Maybe you lose motivation, it feels like too, that you lose inspiration. Maybe you're waiting to get inspiration, but that's okay. We're not going to be spewing inspiration all the time. It's important to take breaks every now and then. But whatever this is, I do see you being successful and overcoming this challenge in July. So it's not going to bleed into the rest of the months. I see you mastering this lesson and just kind of being done with it in July as well. So for July, we have July 2nd, July 4th, July 7th, and July 21st. Okay, so moving on over to August, we have the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords, there is some pain, mental anguish that you may endure. This could be heartbreak or deception, or this could just be your own stresses and fears and worries. Let's see what that's all about. The Queen of Cups. Yeah, I feel that for you, sometimes when you do get out of your heart space and you start to be more logical and get hard on yourself, you cause more stress and worry than is necessary. When you break your own heart, you hurt yourself. And with the Queen of Cups, it feels like it's a reminder to get back into your heart space. Of course, that balance is important, though. We can't be too emotional or too logical. There has to be a fine line between both. And here's the Four of Pentacles, which is all about scarcity mindset. So I do feel like something does happen with your finances that kind of leaves like even like a little bit of trauma in you, that you carry the pain into August, even though it's not necessarily affecting you anymore, because I do feel like that chapter closes in July, but just because it closes in July doesn't mean you're over it in August. Okay, so I do feel like you carry that pain within you, and you have to heal that and just kind of let that go. And I know easier said than done, right? But with the Queen of Cups here, they're wanting, and when I say they, it's your spirit team, they're wanting you to get into your heart space and again go back to doing what you love. And again, we have the, here is a literal paintbrush, but we have that hand with the pen or paintbrush. So I do feel like you guys are artists. And if you are worried about hitting a creative block, I see you finding yourself again in August. Maybe because it's summer, maybe the weather is better, but you find inspiration again. And I think it's because you're able to finally let go of this pain, but you have to feel it. You can't run away from it. You can't numb it. Okay. You have to allow yourself to feel it. You have to have that breakdown in order to feel it, heal it, process it, and let it go. The Queen of Cups lets it go. She feels it, but she lets it go. So I think you do that in August, and it's a beautiful energy. Okay, so important dates in August could be August 3rd and August 2nd with the Two of Pentacles staying in the background there. So moving on over to September, we have the Lovers, which is beautiful. And I feel like that could be the reason why you kind of get this little reality check here of your emotional space and your logical space, is because I do feel like you meet a special someone in September. Whether this is someone in your life already or it feels like someone new, take that as it resonates, but it feels new to me because we didn't see anything about another partnership up until now. Okay, so if you're single, this is definitely a message for you. And if you're not, this is not your message so much. I'll try to get more information for those who are in relationships. But I feel like even if you are in a relationship, okay, it's coming through me as I said it. I feel like your relationship does get better in September. It's like you're able to move through those limitations. Maybe your heart was blocked a little bit and it opens up again in September. Okay, and it's because you had this reality check here that the Queen of Cups opens up the heart space. Okay, and for those who are single, I feel like you meet someone new because you're finally open and ready to receive someone. And this person is genuine. It's a very good energy. We have the Moon and Death at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, exactly. It's like you have a transformation of yourself. And it's like this old you dies. And I feel like the old you that dies is the one that tends to live in fear and self-limiting beliefs. But it's only natural to have the fears of the unknown still, especially when someone really great enters your life, especially if you're still kind of healing from any past wounds. It's going to feel scary when this person enters your life, right? How can it not? So I do feel like balance is another very important key for you here. I'm being drawn to the yin yang symbol here. This person is going to balance you and complement you very nicely. But even then, like this person could be the most perfect person for you. They can show that to you and demonstrate it to you and let you know. And for some reason, you're still going to kind of be paranoid about it. And again, I understand it. It's like a very valid feeling though. So there may be some things that you have to work on within yourself, because the way she's looking at this puddle of water feels like she's reflecting on her emotions, because it's reflecting back the moon, and the moon represents emotions. So I feel like something about this connection is going to make you reflect on your emotions, on any pain, any happiness, any sadness that needs to be worked on. And it's all for a good reason. It's just so that you can, again, heal it, let it go. Okay, so that's the biggest message coming through for September. So dates are September 6th, September 18th, and September 13th. And again, you meet this person when you're having a shedding of the skin, when you're completing your transformation. You're an entirely new person when they come into your life, and it's because you passed that phase. You're moving to the next phase in life. All right, so October, we have the Five of Cups. So it kind of feels that It feels like the script gets flipped. Okay, regardless of gender, I'm just reading the cards how I feel them. I feel like this is you, regardless of gender, okay? So I feel like in October, you may start to see your person's shadow side. Okay, so their shadow side. And that's okay. Like I said, that's the whole basis of relationships sometimes, is to show us what still needs to be worked on. And that could be like an underlying fear about you in September, because maybe you feel, wait, this person's going to trigger me. There's going to be shadow sides that are going to come out. I'm a little scared about that. And that's completely valid. That's why I was saying that there's like an understanding of that. So here in October, you could see this person's like shadow side, in the sense like how they cope, how they deal with life when the going gets tough. Maybe you're in a really good mood and you're wanting to do things with them, and they kind of shut you out, and you're a little bit distraught by it. And there's a reason for it, though. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. Ace of Cups, though. There's a lot of love. Yeah, I feel like for you, and this is not trauma bonding, it does not feel toxic, because if it was toxic, this would have been the devil and not the lovers. Okay, it feels like you know how to be there for them in a way that helps them move forward. It's not enabling, okay? Because the Queen of Pentacles is just this like warm, comforting feeling. You know, it's like when someone gets sick, you make them soup. That's kind of what I feel here is that you do. It's like you show up for them, you nurture them back to health. And again, it's not in a toxic way. It's just kind of like my partner is going through something. I'm going to help them. I'm going to be there for them. Like, isn't that what any person would do, right? So I feel like something in October shows you a shadow side about them, and it makes you not run away from them. Maybe in the past, when you saw a shadow side, you would dip, or maybe like toxic traits would get triggered in both of you. But here it feels more of like, I'm going to give them their space, but I'm going to help them in ways that I can and feel is healthy. Because we have the Ace of Cups here. So unconditional love, right? Yeah, and the Two of Swords in the background. Like in the past, you could have just avoided the situation. But something this time around, because your heart is open, you're able to be there for them. Okay, so it's a beautiful energy, and not only does this show you that you're capable of being there for someone in their darkest of times, and you can be an understanding person and not judge them, but it also demonstrates to this person that you're there for them, and that you didn't judge them, you didn't leave them when the going got tough, right? You guys were able to stick it through and make it through. You were able to get over this rough patch together through just love and nurturing. It's a very beautiful energy, very healing. Okay, like you may see that some of them are alcoholics or like substance abusers, and it doesn't mean that you just like kicked them to the curb because of it. It's almost like, we're going to get you the help that you need. Okay, that's kind of what it feels like. And with the Queen of Pentacles, it feels very practical. Okay, it feels like this needs to be done. It doesn't feel like trauma bonding, like I said. Okay, so dates for October are October 5th and October 1st. Okay, so moving on over to November, we have the Page of Pentacles. So beautiful energy. I feel like you get a new idea, like a new business venture, a new opportunity. I feel like you're again setting your sails high, like that Three of Wands, like I was mentioning. It's like the world is your oyster. I feel like you get a new creative idea, a new business idea. Seven of Swords. Interesting strategy. Okay. And then Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I think any financial lessons that you may go through, I feel that in November, you know how to apply yourself better. You know how to be more mindful of your spending, for example. Excuse me. You're able to be more mindful of your spending, for example. It's like you learned certain business practices, business modules to implement into your next creative idea. It feels very strategical. Okay, because let's say maybe in the first half of the year you invested in a certain business idea, and maybe you put in more money than you needed to. Now this time around, you're being a little bit more mindful about it, more sneaky even. You know, it's like The idea feels like if you talk to investors, for example, maybe you see that this investor can put in more, and you try to kind of persuade them into giving you more. And it's not like you're stealing from them. It's not like you're trying to hustle them. It's just kind of like your business way of doing things, because you know that if they do it this way, you'll be able to kind of keep more money for yourself for a rainy day, because you're not balling like these investors are. You know what I mean? Like, this is just an example, but you know that you can kind of hustle a little more out of it in order to be smart about this, okay? But with the Page of Pentacles, it feels very balanced. It feels very practical. I don't see you, like I said, stealing from anyone. You're just kind of being smart here, like being sly, but in a good way that works for you. And in turn, it'll be profitable, because I'm being drawn to the P, that you'll be able to pay them back anyways. Like they'll be able to say like, oh, that was a good idea. Okay. And you have the Nine of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So whatever this business idea is for you, it's like another dream of yours. And this is the reason you're pursuing it. Okay, so important dates for November are November 7th and November 9th. And lastly, we get to December. We have the Six of Swords. So you may be moving in December. You may be traveling or just moving. But I kind of feel like you're moving. Maybe you find a better place. Maybe you move to your dream destination even. Let's see what that's all about. Yeah, Knight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you get an opportunity to leave, to move somewhere else, and you take it. You're just like, see you later, deuces, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, Four of Wands, you've already celebrated. This is like the background energy that I was feeling though when we were at the Three of Wands. I feel like if you're wanting to buy a house, for example, and being drawn to the house back here, you're able to buy it in a new place. It could be a new city, new town, new state, country, province, what have you. But you're just kind of like, let's go. Let's not think twice about it. Let's just do it. It could be car distance though, because we are in a car here and a motorcycle. So it could just be literally like you leaving town. But it's for a reason. I feel like wherever you're moving to is a happier place. Okay, but you feel really confident about it with the Knight of Wands. And again, it's because you're so successful that you're able to make this move. So if that's been on your mind, if that's been a goal, I see you making that come into fruition by December. All right, Cancer. So that is what I have for you guys. Amazing reading. Thank you so much for your patience as I got this out for you guys. But I hope I was able to deliver nevertheless. So let's go ahead and get some oracles and see what else we're going to get here for your messages this year. Daily habits, self-care, morning, evening, success, routines, make healthy choices, cumulative effects, subliminals. Yeah, and I think that's what changes in you, like manifestation technique, or just like a daily practice, right? That's what I was saying in the High Priest energy in February. It's like you figure out a daily practice that works for you, a technique that works for you, and you do it every day and you apply yourself, and that's what's going to bring you the success. Creating reality, live your best life by design. You have amazing experiences, freedom, lifestyle, infinite potential, and there's the freaking hand with the pen again. I'm telling you, that's like a huge message. So I definitely feel like you guys are artists or writers. But yeah, again, going back to that manifestation technique, I feel like you're understanding that you can co-create with the universe, that what you put out is what you get. Highest expression, fulfilling life purpose, soul contract, destiny, co-creating with universe. There you go. Bliss knows worth. Exactly. It's like the sun is coming out again, which you had in the first portion of your reading that I was mentioning. It's like you just change. You have this like epiphany that it just changes and you start to vibrate in a higher expression. Bottom of the deck, high vibes. Surround yourself with positivity. Connect with your self source, solfeggio's frequencies. your tribe. Exactly. And I feel like that's what happened last year. It's like you realized you were not surrounded by a soul tribe. You weren't surrounded by people who you felt were positive and emanating what you wanted in life. And that's what changed everything for you as well. And I see you attracting your soul tribe this year. Okay, let's do Sophie Wisdom. Okay, let's just do 3 here. We'll take this one, and this one. So bottom of the deck, we have energy of love. Behold the world through the eyes of love. Exactly. Surrender with joy. Achieve greatness through surrender. Yeah, and I feel like you definitely emanate that this year. That's what's able to help you get into that more attractive energy, right? Happy life, live a less guarded life, for sure. And I feel like that's what you're letting go of coming into 2024. Silencing the mind, let silence guide you to your inner peace. And I do feel like sometimes that is what happens, those limiting beliefs, like that's the mind playing tricks on you. So I feel like in moments of distress, when you feel like you're going backwards, when you feel like, oh my God, I need to get this corporate job again because I need to pay the bills, it's important to silence the mind and allow the silence to guide you to your inner peace, your inner guidance. And lastly, we're going to get some cards from the fortune reading cards. First one out is plain. A journey is indicated either physically or metaphorically. Your life will become more full. I feel like both are happening for you. Not only a journey of, not only a physical journey, not only a metaphorical journey, but a physical one as well. Unity, a time of divine understanding, renewal, peace, and hope. You radiate and attract great love. Exactly. I feel like you do attract a special partner into your life this year. And again, if you're in a relationship, the relationship just gets better. Or if you're in a toxic relationship or just one that isn't in alignment with you, there could be some breakups in order to make space for the right person. Okay, then we have lion. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. So Leo energy is coming through here. So I do feel like some of you have Leo in your chart, but just fire in general. But Leo is coming through very strongly. Thorns, weathering the challenges ahead will bring in a new and positive future. So yeah, the fact that this is you leaving 2023. I feel like the thorns are 2023 and the sun is 2024. Okay, so that's why the Leo energy was really strong with like the sun and just all the fire sign energy anyways. But that's what I have for you, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell button because I will be posting your love readings next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in your next reading. Bye.